Hey everybody, Scout Crafty here again, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. You made it through another week, and boy, it's been a hot one, huh? Yeah, we've had a couple hot days here, breaking over 100, up to 120 in the vehicle. It's been a warm week, but it's going to be cooling down in a couple days. But we have today, last episode, I didn't get to finish everything that I got at the Long Island Tool Meet. My buddy Brian gave me a few things. I was saving the best for last. So let's get to that. We're going to be working on that today. And good to be back on a Friday. We will talk to you in a minute. Okay, last up was kind of saving the best for last. This is Brian picked up this traffic light for me. Now, I have one upstairs, but this one is a smaller and lighter one, which is real nice. And it works. It's all... See, and the way they have it set up, I guess that it blinks. This one stays steady, I guess. Let's open it up and see what it looks like inside. Now, traffic lights normally have a little wing nut with a catch over here that you loosen up the wing nut, and then you can release the door. And there's a door, and these hinges. Now, you got to be careful. I just sprayed some 50-50 on these hinges because they're outside. A lot of these traffic lights are outside, and aluminum gets funny. It oxidizes, and it's very hard to open. So I got a little lubricant in there. I'm going to try and open it up. Okay, here we go. We opened it up, and you can see here we have a 60-watt light bulb, which is, more than I'm going to use, but it's very bright. These are glass lenses, and you can see how they work. He has it hooked up to 110. Somehow they have some kind of flash. We'll open the rest of them up and see, but this will be fun to restore and get this cleaned up. Now, this is the last one here. Okay. Now, you can see there's a lot of spider cobwebs, things like that, but it looks to be like almost all original. These are the reflectors here. Oh, these are the reflectors here. And you see they're using 60-watt, like I said, light bulbs. This here on the top of the light, this is a cap here to keep the rain and water out. And this here, it says automatic photo control, which is basically a light sensor. Now, what's interesting is all of these reflectors, every one of them lifts up. They have a little spring there. They lift up like this that you could service the back or hook it up. You see, it rotates. Now, it looks like this this unit has been has a blue lead that is not covered, and I don't see any. I got to put some tape on. I don't know what that is, but the black, it is hooked up here. Okay, you see this goes up like that. This one here will lift up too. You see the whole thing lifts up. Here's that cord, and you can see the paint peeling in here. Look at this. Look at this. You know what that is? That is a flasher unit that would go between the bulb. I'll show you this in a minute. Really interesting that we found this in there. And you can see they all flip up, exposing the paint, the peeling paint in here. Again, this is cast aluminum. Whenever you're going to paint aluminum, you're supposed to prime it with a special primer, zinc chromite. And that helps it. It's an odd looking paint, but it stops it from, and look, there's some parts in here. But this was, rigged up here for somebody to have it in their house, and there's a little terminal block there. But remember, the two top ones flashed and the middle one didn't. Now, if I'm not mistaken, let me take the bulb out of the top one, and there should be a flasher button behind it. Yep, there it is. You see that right here, that flasher button? That'll come out when I turn it like this. Just let me, there we go. There we go. Now this here, this is so cool. This flasher unit, it was a button, and it had a bimetallic wire in there. And what happened is the wire, as it heated up, would release the contact, and when it would cool down, it would touch again, and that's how these used to flash. And that's what made these flash, this flasher button. These are quite expensive. They used to be very cheap, but they're quite expensive now. And there's three of them here. One of them, this one here, looks like it's seen better days. I'd like to take it apart and see what makes it tick here. You can see here I have that off. Maybe we could see if that bimetallic strip in here Okay, there's the plastic in it, so it's in there. Okay, and yeah, very interesting how these work. Something else that's interesting is in order to remove this reflector unit from the housing here, you would lift this up like this, and there's a spring here. You see that spring? And if I push this whole unit this way, it'll pop out, and I could remove this, and then I could pull this out from the terminal block, unscrew it, and replace it or work on it, whatever I had to, and then you could put it back just following the opposite way. Stick it in there, and then put that into the bottom pin here. Isn't that something, the way these were made? Another thing I find really interesting is each one of these reflector units, the top one, which is the red, the stop one, has a red wire coming out for the hot. The yellow has a yellow wire coming out for the hot. And the green, the bottom here, has a green wire. So when they all come up to the terminal block here and you're hooking things up, you know just which one to hook up. You know if you have a, like these three, see? You have green, red, and yellow all hooked up here into this wire nut. So that's powering them all as far as that. And then the other ones are blinking. Very interesting. Obviously, this isn't the way it's hooked up on the street, but I just find it, the way these are made, it's just fascinating, isn't it? Especially since they're out there in all kinds of weather all year round, heavy winds, heavy rain. They got to survive. To remove the lenses from the traffic light, 4 small brass machine screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. This pulls straight up and out, and these little tabs fit into the slot of the gasket. There's 4 of them for each light. You just pull them out. Okay, and now to remove this, just open this up here like this and just work your way around, and this will pop right out like that. And there's your 4. Here's your rubber gasket, and here's your, this one's glass. Now, using scrapers and wire brushes and whatnot, I scraped out all the loose paint that I can get off of the aluminum housing, and then I used some crud buster and cleaned the entire unit to make sure there's no dirt or any grime or anything in there. We'll later touch that up with some primer. Here you can see all the parts laid out. We went over each piece, cleaned each piece, and then we'll go back for reassembly. These are the 3 lenses. This one actually looks blue when you look at it this way, but this is glass, and these 2 are plastic. Now you can see the plastic, the problem with plastic is it hazes over time, but a little bit of Plastex will get rid of that. Let's do that now. The first step, we're going to clean it with soap and water, and then we're going to polish it with Plastex and then buff it off with a dry paper towel. And there we go. The lenses are all Plastexed, and you can see now, and I give it a coat of wax too, but all that haze has gone over it, and now it'll be nice and clear when the lights are on behind it. It makes a huge difference. The glass one, you don't have to worry about too much. The glass doesn't haze up like the plastic, but I still polished it anyway. There we go. These sockets are Bakelite. They're very nice, and they clean up really easy. Use the Dremel on the inside, and they come out like brand new, and they'll be good for another 100 years. This is the circuit board that will control the light sequence. It's amazing how inexpensive these have become. This is, I think, $22 or something on Amazon. Comes with the mounting hardware. Comes with a very nice color. You can see here, it comes with a nice color instruction book. Different wiring diagrams that you can have, and setup instructions. You can see here, very nicely made. And then on the back, these are all the type of sequences that you could have. Number 1 is the most popular. That's where it's red, and then it goes to green, yellow, and then red again, and starts the sequence all over again. But look how many sequences they offer that you could just program in with a, you know, up to 39 sequences really easily. So we're going to see. We're going to give it a shot. It's looks like it's a very easy hookup. Okay, I mounted the circuit board where the old terminal block was that we removed. The terminal block is no longer useful, but I ran all the wires in according to the instructions here. And you see I'm going to turn it on now. Here we go. Now you can see that's the red light here. Okay, so it goes red, then it goes green, yellow for a second, red, and that's the signal. And here we have, you can see this is how it'll fold back here, and I'll show you how that looks. And that's the bulb. You can see here I have them all working now. Okay, but I'm still wiring it up, but came out really nice. Now originally this came with a 60-watt incandescent bulb. I changed them over to a LED bulb, 3000 Kelvin, which is right around halogen. It should look real nice. And I chose a smaller bulb. Okay, this is an A15 bulb. This is an A19 bulb. So it's a smaller bulb. It'll sit and let the reflector do more work, which I think is a better system. And I believe that this electronic circuit board requires a 4-watt minimum to operate. So these use 5 watts. So it's a 50-watt light that it throws out, but it's only using 5 watts each time. So let's close it up, see how it looks. Okay, there we go. You can see what it looks like now with the lenses all polished. I'm still going to work on the casing. I'm going to polish that up tomorrow. But we have the electric circuit board in there. Looks good. Works, operates just like it should. And then we'll put the covers back on here. But so far, so good. Okay, now, my plan was to try and keep this as original as possible. And the paint on here is still good, but the paint on the shades, the light shades, are just, some of them are just terrible, right? So I'm going to try and I'm just going to paint the top of these. The bottoms are still, they have like a flat black on the bottom. They're fine. But I just want to paint the top because I'll never be able to get these back. Some of them are, you can see the paint is worn off here. So I'm going to try and just mix up some, paint, an acrylic paint. Again, this is going to be inside. I'm really having a lot of fun with this. So let me just prep these by cleaning them with some Brillo and Ajax or Comet. Okay, now the shields have all been Brilloed and then went over with Ajax. And now they are clean. See, like I was telling you, the paint is all faded off here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to try and mix a color that comes close to olive green, which is blue and yellow. I'm going to mix those colors until I get the right. And you can always test it a little bit on the edge here, whatever, until you get close. And then I'm just going to brush it on using a soft nylon brush. And I remember when I used to drive a bus, I would see the traffic maintenance guys. They would paint the lights, and they would do this in all kinds of, cold weather, whatever. They'd be up there, and they had a special brush. I think it was a Purdy brush, who makes great brushes, and it was angled like this, okay? It wasn't a straight brush. It was angled. And I remember the guy had a big bucket of yellow paint that had yellow all over, because we have yellow traffic lights here. The paint was all over the side of the bucket, and they would dip it on there on the truck with the bucket, and, he'd be up there in the bucket with a bucket of paint, and he would just be painting the traffic lights. It would take him like 3 minutes to do the whole traffic light. So these were a lot of times brush painted. They weren't meant to look pristine, but we're going to get this as close as we can to that olive. To mix up your paint, always start with the light color first, and then just add a little bit, okay, of the darker color, because the darker color will quickly tint. Look at that. You remember the old spin art as a kid, but you see how quickly it's turning this into a green. Okay, now the more blue you add, the darker the green will be. But you see how mixing paint's a lot of fun, especially if you have taken art class or anything. There are some people that are so good at mixing. You ever see those Asian guys on TikTok or Instagram that they can look at a color and mix it up just with their eye and make like a spray paint out of it? So you see this is like a Kentucky green, but you see where we're going with this, right? Now we'll just add a little bit more blue. You can also add a brown or anything, but brown is only, blue and red. So little bits of colors will get this until we get this into like an olive looking green. Okay, with the addition of a little bit of red, it really darkens it out, okay? And there we go. And when this is, remember, it's going to dry flat, so we're going to try it out. Okay, there we go. We're very happy with that shade. Now, those brush marks will fade a little bit as it dries. And let's put on this furnace. It's been 24 hours and you could see how nice that came out. Nice color match too. Really happy with that, you know, and easily done. I touched up the inside here of the inside. So let's button it all up and get it upstairs where we're going to put it. And here we go. Now, I just got to find the right spot to put it, but you can see here how bright it is. Extremely bright. Lights up the whole attic, actually. So, but we got to find a place to hang it somewhere. There we go. Okay, so in closing, special thanks to Brian for that fantastic traffic light. I love them. And that little controller works great, doesn't it? A big day tomorrow. We have the 4th of July, big holiday here for us here in the States, 250th birthday. Very proud to be an American, as you might have figured out by now. So I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope you remember the founding fathers who put everything on the line so that we could live the lifestyle we live. And enjoy your holiday. We will see you again on Monday. Have a great weekend. Take care now. Bye-bye. It's feeding time. Look at this. Baby was born a couple hours ago. Look at this. A couple hours. That's what a pigeon looks like when it's I don't know, maybe an hour and a half old. Hello, little guy.